Hey guys, Dom here, back again with another Bethesda video. Now it's safe to say that when it comes to the yearly gaming calendar, E3 has always been such a monumentous occasion, and something people have always gotten excited for, and something we've all cherished watching over the years. Be it for games we've wanted more information on, or by confirming leaks and rumours that have surrounded a certain game or company. But most often than not, it's the surprise announcements that usually excite us the most, with great moments like 2018, Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 announcements, or even 2016's God of War reveal. I mean, damn. Just watching that back seriously still gives me chills from that live reaction. And so, be it from Bethesda or any other game developer, E3 has always played such a pivotal role in the gaming industry, and the main source of how those titles and studios gain hype and excitement for their new projects. And Bethesda are no stranger to using E3 as a major marketing tool, as they center all of their major or new announcements around this yearly gaming convention, hosting their own E3 showcase every year since the major Fallout 4 showcase all the way back in 2015. And since then, Bethesda have not missed an E3 showcase yet, bringing us new games and new announcements without fail for years on end now. And it seemed like this year's showcase was going to be no exception, seeing as Bethesda officially confirmed their presence at this year's E3 showcase all the way back in January at their Las Vegas Elder Scrolls Online event for their brand new Skyrim expansion. Not only this, but we've also had confirmation of Bethesda's E3 attendance from Pete Hines just over a week ago on the Kinda Funny We Have Cool Friends podcast, with the promise of new information on Arcane Studios' latest title Deathloop, and the overarching hope that we may finally get to see more on Bethesda Game Studios' next sci-fi epic adventure, Starfield. But over the last few months or so, people have been worried about the current state of E3 and the corporate plans for this year's showcase to shift more towards catering for celebrities and influencers than actually taking care of the core gaming community surrounding E3. And it's because of these types of decisions that have forced multiple companies and industry veterans to pull out of E3 altogether, starting with Sony. Now, as we all know, Sony's participation with these events have seriously dwindled over the last few years as a result of these corporate changes, forcing a Sony employee to give a statement a few months back revealing that Sony nor the next generation console, the PS5, will be at attendance at this year's E3 showcase, stating that due to the changes the ESA wants to make for this year's E3 event, Sony as a company do not feel comfortable being a part of this year's event. Now, for Sony not to be a part of this year's E3 event is huge, seeing as we all know that this year is the year of the next generation of consoles, and for Sony not to be in attendance at this year's event with the PS5 reveal on the horizon seriously says a lot about how much the ESA have screwed up, trying to deviate from the actual gaming community, so much so that Sony and their next big console, which will shape the future generations of gaming and players, do not want anything to do with your event due to your corporate decisions. I mean, wake up. I mean, you could have had millions on millions of people tuning in to get the first look at the PS5, much like what you did with the PS4 and the Xbox One, and look how well that turned out. But again, greed and pandering to celebrities have seriously cost you. We also saw the departure of Jeff Keighley, an iconic member of gaming and a legendary host of multiple E3 shows, and of course the founder of the annual Game Awards show. Now, this truly tells me how much the ESA have changed, or at least have wanted to change the E3 experience, seeing as Jeff Keighley has attended E3 since 1995. As I have previously stated, he has hosted a bunch of interviews and shows for the E3 event every year without fail. And for Jeff Keighley to pull out of this year's event seriously tells me how much trouble E3 2020 was seriously in. Now, funny enough, not only did we see a departure from Sony and Jeff Keighley, but also about a week and a half ago, we also got word on the official organizers of the entire E3 show floor officially pulling out of this year's event as well. That's right, the official creative directors, I Am 8-Bit, announced over on their Twitter page that they are officially pulling out of this year's event. I mean, come on, that says it all. The people in charge of designing the event have also pulled out months before the event was meant to happen. Which of course then leads me up to the big update where a couple of days ago the ESA announced a full closure regarding this year's E3 event, giving an official statement announcing that due to the current virus outbreak, E3 2020 has been officially cancelled. Although within their statement the ESA and other companies are now looking into the possibility of hosting digital showcases. Now while this may be the norm for companies like Sony with their State of Play events, or for that matter Nintendo who host their directs, for many other companies and developers, planning an E3 event is a full-time thing. Planning each showcase can literally take up the entire work year leading up to the event in June. And with the complete closure of this year's event, many developers are now scrambling towards the possibility to work on a digital showcase, which leads me up to the reason likely most of you are watching this video for, which is of course what is going to happen with Bethesda's E3 2020 showcase. Now while we've not heard anything official from Bethesda just yet, we have seen other companies like Ubisoft and Microsoft announce that they will be hosting their own live streamed events during June. But with Bethesda confirming that they did have a full E3 event planned, I do wonder if Bethesda will be joining the other companies in live streaming their E3 2020 showcase. Now since its official closure announcement a couple of days ago, I reached out to my contacts within Bethesda Softworks regarding if Bethesda were still going to be live streaming their events or skipping this year entirely. Now just to say, to protect this employee's identity, this person will remain nameless as I'm not really planning on getting someone fired or in trouble with their own company. But with that being said, the update I've received is that a live streamed event may be in the works, but there is a current complication on planning this as well, as this cancellation has literally been dumped on Bethesda's doorstep, and now they are trying to figure out what a live streamed event could actually look like. Also, Bethesda are currently waiting for a response from the ESA before they can go all in on a live streamed event, as E3 and the ESA are still trying to figure everything out. And that lastly, Bethesda can't actually promise anything regarding a showcase this year. So it seems like Bethesda's showcase is truly hanging in the balance, with a pretty strong possibility that Bethesda could likely be skipping this year's convention due to the lack of planning and the sudden E3 announcement of its closure. And with that fact, it seems like Bethesda are being kept in the dark in regards to hosting their own event as well. Now we can clarify this by heading over to the replies section on the official E3 Twitter page, where in response to somebody's post on perhaps hosting live shows, E3 stated, "Stay tuned for updates on that front. We are definitely exploring options for online content." Again, reiterating what they said in their official statement. Now, Bethesda could, if E3 were completely off the table, always host their own showcase, similar to what they did with Fallout 76 or their latest expansion for the Elder Scrolls Online, as those types of reveals have been proven to be rather successful. They get people talking, they have millions and millions of people watching their streams, all provided off their own back. I mean, Bethesda could be a company that could seriously do it alone. Not only this, but if Bethesda were to go independent, they'd most likely realize how much they'd actually save on money and resources hosting their own showcases in-house. Again, actually keeping everything in-house would limit the risk of anything being leaked or shown before their initial showcases. I mean, this could really be beneficial for Bethesda to just go it alone. They could even start spreading out their major announcements, meaning that we'd get more announcements from Bethesda throughout the year. So all in all, due to the ESA dropping this news on Bethesda and their E3 showcase currently being hung in the balance, it seems like a strong possibility that Bethesda could be skipping this year's E3 showcase. Now, while this may suck for a lot of us, the bright side is that if Bethesda aren't hosting a showcase this year, this all but confirms that we will definitely be seeing Starfield at Bethesda's 2021 showcase. I mean, honestly, look, it can't be longer than that. They've effectively given themselves another year to develop this game. Unless they do plan on showing us something on Starfield at the Game Awards in December. I mean, that could always be a possibility. But what do you guys think? Are you upset Bethesda may not be hosting a showcase this year? Let me know in the comments down below. Best ones get featured in the credits of these videos. And if you liked this video, hit that on that like and subscribe button. And until next time, please stand by.